back to the SplitScreeners podcast. This is our Movie Bookie Bookie episode.
MMBB.
For those of you that don't know what Movie Bookie Bookie is, that is our movie book club, where we all take turns picking movies that at least a couple of us haven't seen each week. We watch them all together, and then we come on here and we review them for you. This week, Zach picked The Whale, which we will get into that review here shortly. Before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell in the intro. Alright, before we rate and review, I think that we should give a synopsis of this movie for people who never saw the trailer, don't know what's going on.
I think that's a good idea.
So, Gavin, why don't you get us started?
Alright. Idaho, 2016.
Scarred
By
the profound
wounds
of grief
and guilt.
Couchbound
Charlie. And
online
writing instructor
living
with chronic
obesity
now has
a
crystal clear view
of
his secret
intentions
and confined
to
his claustrophobic
and
musty apartment.
the
Self-destructive shut-in
has
all the
time
in the
world
to contemplate
the
damaging faults
of
the past
fatherhood
and reconciliation.
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 because
More
okay
than
anything
flawed Charlie
oh shit longs
for communication. Oh, God.
and
Reconnexion. After
all
he hasn't
spoken
to his
estranged
angry teenager
daughter
in
years
but everyone
knows
whales don't
live
in the
shallows
do love
and
forgiveness have
the
power to
wipe
away the
tears
and the
painful
mistakes of
a
lifetime. Nick
Reganus. Alright, for those of you that just skipped ahead 2 minutes, probably the
You
smart
should
move.
probably go back and watch that.
It's the best part of our video. But let's get into this. Let's start with Zach. He's the one that recommended this movie. Zach, tell us why you recommended the movie and some of your feelings about it, and then we can get into ratings later in the episode.
Yeah.
You know, I saw this one a few months after it came out. It was re-released in theaters.
He almost said live there. I saw this one live.
I saw it live.
No, I didn't. I didn't even get close. That wasn't even a thought in my mind. I saw this one live. Yeah, I don't know. Just like, but upon watching it the first time in theaters, it might have been like the surround sound, being more into the film and not having as many distractions around me, like the phone or something.
We talked a lot.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to blame you guys.
That's okay. I'll take it.
I will too.
I got really into this film and like it hit me hard, especially at the end. I kind of wanted to share the pain with you guys.
Yeah, I get that.
I appreciate it.
Who wants to go?
After you guys showed me the 7 pounds and like pursuit of happiness.
I'll go.
Okay.
I really did enjoy this movie. I thought it was the emotional connection and the not really growth, but just the transformation of all the damage that's been dealt over the like it's 4 days basically of
Monday
him trying to
through
fix.
Friday, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's 5 days of him trying to fix, like it says, an entire lifetime of mistakes. And I thought it did it really well. It all seemed very realistic. It didn't seem too hammed up. I understood where all the characters were coming from the most part, why they were acting the way they were acting. And even with some of the characters we don't get a super long time with, I felt like they did a pretty good job about fleshing out that character, even if they're only there for a night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're not rating it yet, are we?
No.
No.
We saw it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Blank out of blank.
A blank and a blank.
Blankety blank blank.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good emotional ride. for those 5 days, seeing his mistakes, what his life became after dealing with his tragedies, his estranged relationships with his ex-wife, his daughter. All hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
They portrayed it really well. I don't think it's going to leave me devastated for months, but
I said for hours.
definitely enjoyed it. Well, spoilers, he's dead.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I'm not gonna touch too much on what you guys said. The things that I really took away is that, one, especially as we've gotten older, I mean, none of us are quote unquote old, but we definitely feel it and we see it, and I think that death is something that has definitely been thought about.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get later in life and you have, girlfriends and wives and kids and all this stuff, friends and family, I think it starts to hit you a little bit more, the impact of death and everything like that. And I think that this movie kind of touches on that in such a beautiful way. I love the idea, like, living on short time and trying to make up for some stuff that you feel horrendous about, the stuff that you know you need to fix before you die. The other thing I really love about this movie, and none of us at this table I would say are religious people by any means, but I really do love religion in a whole. I find religion and people that believe in religion, I find that all fascinating and beautiful. I've talked about this a lot with my in-laws who are religious, and I think that belief and stuff like that is very beautiful, and I thought that even some of the way that they talked about belief and religion I thought was very well done. So I think this movie touched on a lot of really good topics while staying grounded, like you guys were talking about. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I really like you could empathize and also see how he ended up the way he is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And
you can see everyone's point.
And you can see how easy it is in all these relationships to just kind of slip and somebody passes away and not having anybody actually work it through. I think that the two main characters, I feel like that's what most of this is about for them. Obviously he wants to reconnect with his daughter and everything else, but he clearly has unresolved issues with the death, as does Liz also have unresolved issues with death, and they keep popping up in their relationship and how she enables him, because it was very well done.
Yes.
Yeah. With all the death and all of that, it's pretty sad that takes him realizing he's probably dying, and in these last 5 days he's trying to make right, and just all the years he wasted not doing that really makes you think, not waste your time. You never know when you're going to go.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I really did connect with was Sadie Sink's character, the daughter. I know a lot of us here at this table may have issues with our parents here and there. It might be
absolutely
some of the binding tissue of our group, but I really connected with that part of the anger you have towards that parental figure who wasn't there when they should have been, and all of a sudden they want to be part of your life, and they're doing, they're going in deep, but that end scene is beautiful where she's reading her old speech, the thing that he's most proud of her for, and he's getting up for the first time to actually walk to her.
It was beautiful.
That's what wrecked me in the theater.
I loved that whole...
I was tearing up for it.
I loved that whole wraparound, because at the very beginning he's reading that story, and you have no idea that it was written by his daughter before I guess after he was kicked out of her life.
Yeah, in the beginning I was like, oh, it's his own essay, and he likes to do
I was thinking it was a student or something.
I honestly thought, I figured that there was death related to like why he got the way he was. I thought it was going to be an essay written by his partner.
Yeah, that would have fit. But no, I'm glad it was the daughter saying.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
It tied everything together.
It makes sense. Like, obviously, in hindsight, more things make sense. But it did catch me a little off guard because I really did like you're saying.
One of the coolest parts about this film is it literally takes place mostly in the living room of this guy's apartment, and it's still like very riveting. And, You don't.
Does it ever leave?
Well,
I mean,
outside
like it
the
goes to like
porch,
different
porch.
bedrooms.
It went to the porch and the bedrooms, but
Bathroom,
it never
two
leaves
bedrooms,
his,
yeah.
his residence.
But yeah, it's.
You can see the parking lot.
Yeah. I
That's
mean, you
about
get a
it.
flat. Yeah, the camera turns a little bit, and you see the parking lot. But yeah, it's
Oh,
basically just that set of rooms, and it doesn't feel like it's boring at all.
I fully understand why Brendan Fraser won an award for this movie.
Yeah, he got
Especially because
Best
this was his
Actor.
first
Did it-
movie in
a
a
while.
long ass time.
Yeah.
He did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was outstanding. in
He
this.
showed so much emotion and range for this character that
Yeah, a
at
lot
some,
more than I
at
thought
some
he
points
had.
you're a little bit angry at, but then for most of the movie you feel horrible for him.
All right, never mind. He's been in a bunch lately, but
Well, yeah,
Nothing.
Best big movie in a while.
Yeah.
but a big movie.
Yeah.
They casted that perfectly. He gets a lot. Brendan Fraser gets a lot of crap for the Mummy movies.
Yeah,
He is a good
fantastic.
He is a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
I also really enjoy the early Mummy movies, but
I love this resurrection of Brendan Fraser while we're on this topic. I remember watching him accept an award, and I don't think it was the Best Actor award. I think it was more of like an indie film fest.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him standing on stage and like crying as he's thanking people. He was just so happy.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he seems like such a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
This last Oscar award show, I actually like kind of teared up like 2 or 3 times because like him accepting the Best Actor award. Beautiful speech. He's in tears. Everyone in the auditorium is in tears. Me and my wife were watching it and we're in tears.
Well,
K. Huey Kwan accepted an award for
Yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Amazing. Like he's like telling his mom, I did it. I made it.
Yeah,
And then
About
it
definitely deserved it.
the Oscars. I don't really watch the Oscars. They kind of bore me. I did see those speeches, and I thought they were really good.
Yeah.
And I think it's also really nice to see. I don't think Brendan Fraser ever thought he would win Best Actor, even though he is a fantastic actor. He deserves it. And I thought that was partially why it was so moving, his speech and everything, because he's like, you know, all he sees is like the memes online of, oh God, Brendan Fraser, you know, everyone's nice, like the memes are nice to Brendan Fraser and all, but it's still like how the Mummy movie sucks and he's the only good part about it and shit like that.
Mummy movies are great.
They are
First
great.
two.
the first. There's only 2.
There's only 2.
But yeah, he deserves it. He clearly busted his butt for this.
Yeah, his acting chops were way up there for this, for such a dramatic and serious role.
Continue.
I was gonna say it feels so good when you guys talk great about a movie.
Most movies that you've recommended from Movie Movie Bookie Bookie have been really good.
Yeah.
I don't know of many that I have disliked that you've recommended.
Besides Tenet.
One of the other things, as somebody who uses food to cope with a lot, obviously,
It doesn't look it, but
it's kind of nice to see that on screen and like to throw that out there. Like people who are struggling with weight, a lot of times, it's not because they want to be overweight. It's not because it's just because stuff has happened in your life and you find a way to cope with it through food.
to get control. Like,
Yeah.
like part of it is it gave him control over his life when everything started really spiraling.
Yeah.
And it's easy to. I can't control this. I can't control that this happened. I can't control that this happened. But I can control what I eat, and I can control.
how much?
Like I just can't control how much. Like it's comforting.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I think that this movie touches beautifully on a lot of sensitive subjects that you don't see a lot in Hollywood, and I think that's what I like really enjoyed. Like we don't see, like I think we've seen relationships of estranged parents with their kids, but I can't think of another movie where it's like this, where
It felt more realistic.
Yeah.
Everything about the movie, from like when it explains from everything else, from the other characters and everything else, it just it shows how like complicated and messy life is normally.
Yeah.
And I thought they did that perfectly, where you know, where just from Ellie and the very brief amount of time you get to meet Ellie's mom, is the fact that Ellie's mom is a drug addict.
Just an
Alcoholic.
No, she makes pill popping jokes
Oh yeah, there was
about the Ambien. That's where she got it.
Pop Sammy.
How she pops Ambiens like Tic Tacs. How she
But
opens
definitely an
drinks.
alcoholic.
Definitely an alcoholic. and just her teenage angst of just feeling like I could get how she felt like she was just failed. Yeah. Is kind of like how I got it. She felt failed by her mom, and she felt failed by her father.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's very related. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just
Look, if we ever I'm gonna throw this out there. If we ever get to 1 million subscribers, we can have a sit down, 4-to-1 on the camera. We'll give you a breakdown of our lives and why we relate to this movie so much.
And we'll need a lot of tissues.
Yeah,
one
and
thing
some booze.
One thing that my wife mentioned, and I'm not gonna get too far into like this topic, but like one part of like substance abuse when it comes to like food that like she brought up that makes a lot of sense to me is like back when you're little, you had a bad day or like something bad happened at school, your parents took you out for ice cream or something, and that was to make you feel better.
It's comfort food.
And now you're as an adult. A lot of times, like at least in my case, where like if I'm having a bad day, I want to go get that feeling again, so I go and eat more. And not everyone's lucky like me, where I still have a high metabolism, but like
the crazy part is like, you're 100% right, but like at least for me anyway, I'll throw out an example. I've been trying to eat better. I've been trying to like go on walks and go to the gym, and the other day I went on lunch at work. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to have some fruit and maybe a salad. And I was all excited to go to the cafeteria. And then I saw they were serving chicken sandwiches. Fried chicken sandwiches. And I was like, yeah, I'll have a fried chicken sandwich. Because I saw it and it was there.
fried chicken's really good.
And then I eat it and I feel like shit about it. Like I just feel like...
Beat yourself
Yeah, it's just the way... It's weird how the human brain works.
Yeah. I think like it's interesting because I do totally get that as well. Like the parents... I can say that my parents were very good about eating and like being able, like you're able to say no. You don't have to eat your plate. You're able to not want to eat, and I think that helped out a lot with mine. Because personally, a lot of what I struggle with when it comes to like binge eating is that I just don't feel full, or it's absent-minded.
Yeah.
Where like I'm just eating because it's something to do.
Yeah. You're like you're playing a video game and you're like, yeah, I'll snack on some chips while I'm here, and then all of a sudden the whole bag of chips is gone.
Yeah.
We call that the popcorn effect.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and obviously like the movie's good. Go see the fucking movie.
Back to the movie. Okay.
Yeah. Let's.
How about a rating? Nick, you want to start this off out of 10?
Already there, okay.
Already there?
I mean, we're almost 20 minutes, so
Okay.
I'll start wrapping it up.
I mean, we just keep saying the same thing over and over.
I was going to go into some scenes, but it's okay.
Okay. By all means, go for the scenes.
Well, shit. One of the scenes I hated and liked was a very small scene, but where it's building up with the pizza guy, Dan. I'm like the whole movie just rooting for him to have a friend and invite that pizza guy in. And then Dan finally sees him and then just gets freaked out and bolts and sends him on a spiral.
But it plays up to the whole thing that he's been scared of his whole life. That's why he stayed in that.
Thematically, it's an important scene, and that's what I like about it.
But it was...
At the same time, I'm like, fuck you, Dan.
It was devastating to watch.
Yeah, I'm like, you are an asshole.
Do you know what bothered me the most about that? I agree that I hated that scene. What the fuck did Dan think? Like, what was he expect? It's somebody that doesn't want to come out of the house. There is a reason for that. Either it's agoraphobia, either it's shame.
You've been reaching out through the door for months.
Yeah. Like, you should expect either somebody incredibly emaciated, incredibly dirty, or incredibly large, or horribly disfigured.
Yeah.
That's what you should be expecting.
I don't know what he was expecting.
And that pissed me off. Like, he just... But another part of me is trying to also say that it wasn't... You didn't freak out because of him seeing him like that. We as the viewers, because we never see anything more than the porch and the inside of the house, and why can't I remember his name? Brendan Fraser's character, Charlie, has been feeling and his fears and everything else. And while Dan has been built up this whole time to be like a figure, I'm thinking part of it was he didn't expect to get caught immediately. I think he just got it's also possible that he freaked out not because of what he looked like, but because he got caught trying to look.
Yeah.
And he just freaked out, and because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know that he was being
Either
an
way,
asshole.
we took it just like Charlie did.
Just like
as
Charlie
a
did,
rejection.
which is really good storytelling. And
I do want to insert a thought too.
Yeah.
What if, what's his face? Dan. We're all just
We're
forgetting
great with
names
names today.
Dan sees Charlie for the first time, and one of the thoughts that passes through his head, because he's delivering all this food to his house all the time, is, I have a part in this. Maybe he has a little bit of guilt. Maybe
Could
not
be.
right away, but like getting in the car, he's almost like thinking about it. Like, I've been bringing this guy food for how long?
2 pizzas every night.
I was
Who
like,
knows
we
how
saw
long?
him get 2 pizzas every night, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah.
We did not see it Monday,
But-
and then obviously it ended Friday.
And
before
Friday he
pizza.
couldn't order pizza.
The biggest thing is like on Monday, like he says that he knows that like the drill for it, but it also sounds like it's a newer drill at the beginning of it. Anyways,
Yeah.
I think it's also possible that he knew that because he knew very early in the movie that he's dying, and there's a very high chance he's dead.
Yeah,
by
he
the
figured
weekend.
that out Monday.
Maybe he was just like, well, I'm dying anyways. Might as well just eat some fucking pizza.
Could be.
Yeah, that'd
I mean, we don't know.
probably
That's up to
too,
interpretation. But
There's a lot of
either way, thematically, it really enhanced
you get.
his isolation, his fear of rejection, all of those emotions. But at the same time, Dan just pissed me off with it.
No, I
Charlie
I
deserved
totally
a
agree.
friend.
He did, and I
He had Liz.
Also, Liz was amazing. I mean,
She was a badass.
She had her issues. We talked about the enabling
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But
I
like,
think
continue.
I was gonna say, I think with the enabling is because her brother, while he was fading away, wasn't eating.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
part of her is
Yeah,
like, I get to
overcompensate.
feed.
It's
Yeah.
all
I'm feeding the person who
Absolutely.
needs
Yeah,
it.
all
it's
the
her
guilt.
own guilt that she's built up that she's now releasing on Charlie,
Yeah.
which I
to
completely
help
understand.
Charlie,
But
because
at the end of the day,
At the end of the day, it's destructive.
yeah.
Even though it comes from love.
I want to throw one more thing out there to anybody watching and anybody that watches this video in the future. Life is extremely hard. I think that the four of us understand that quite well at this table.
and chaotic.
And maybe you don't feel like that there's somebody you can reach out to. The four of us are generally pretty friendly. We're really good listeners. So if anybody out there is struggling with anything in their life and they don't feel like they have anybody else to talk to, I think our DMs are open on TikTok. So please message us on TikTok.
Absolutely.
Leave a comment down on YouTube and I'll find you on Facebook and talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Movies like this really just make me think about stuff that people are going, because like Sadie Sink never shows up in that movie. He dies basically alone. It's him and Liz, and he never gets that moment to reconnect. So I want everybody out there to know, like, even if it's strangers on the internet, if you find somebody that you feel attached to, please reach out to them. There are some amazing people out there that'll help.
I did.
Right.
One of the scenes I did like was near the end when he finally decided to show himself on camera.
Yeah.
You see you can see the students stuff like that. Only like most of them aren't like scared or anything like that. They're just kind of like, oh, like.
One girl starts laughing, takes out her phone.
Yeah, there's a couple that are being dicks.
Yeah, there's
about
a
it.
couple dicks, a couple going, yeah.
Because there's always going to be a couple assholes.
Oh,
you
of course.
can't get away from anything without a couple
Unfortunately.
assholes. But for the most part, like there's one that was just eating.
Yeah.
Like he just kept eating his bowl of cereal that he was eating at the beginning of the call. He didn't give a shit.
Continue this class.
Yeah, like he's like, I don't give a fuck. But the cinematography was fantastic. They managed to really bring such focus to the background and the foreground. The messiness of the house, the diet soda bottles everywhere. I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's very relatable. It's
All right,
I get all that.
I got one more
Powerful
thing. Last one. Somebody that likes to write quite a bit. One of the things that I really liked about Charlie, especially towards the end, is that he was looking for people to be honest with his writing, with their writing. And when I was in school, I was terrible at English classes. Not because I was a bad writer, but just because if you're going to make me write on stuff, a book report for a book I don't care about, my writing's going to be crap. Once I got out of high school and I started focusing my writing on stuff that I felt passionate about, or writing in a journal when I write in a journal, all of a sudden I've realized through my life that when I sit down and I feel passionate about something, I can write beautiful things. I think that that's a really cool idea, and I don't know if that's exactly what was meant to come out of this movie. I don't know if that's an idea that they were trying to plant, but writing down your thoughts and being honest, I think, can be such a healing tool. Mm-hmm. Having a journal, I think, can be such a healing thing in life. And I just love that whole write something honest. I love that.
On that topic, when Ellie writes the haiku, I just thought it was really nice, especially when he realized it was actually haiku, and like she tried, but she still was honest about how it smelled bad and everything. There, I don't know if you noticed, but the house is a little bit picked up after that.
Yeah.
There's fewer soda bottles, a little bit less trash laying around. He tried.
Yeah.
We don't get to see him try, but he tried.
But, he did.
All right. 25 minutes. We want to rate.
All right, so ranking currently on Rotten Tomatoes, it has an audience score of 91%, critic score 64. IMDb has it at 7.7 out of 10. What is your guys' scores?
Give me an 8.5. There wasn't a whole lot wrong with it. It's just really hard for me to give super high scores, but I love this movie. This is one that I think I will definitely rewatch a couple times in my life to hopefully pick up on some stuff that maybe I've missed. Like we talked about, Brendan Fraser's performance was beautiful and so well done. So give me an 8.5.
Oh, let's see. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a pretty powerful piece. A lot of themes. So I'm gonna have to watch it again to catch all the elements and that, because some of them are more subtle, some are beat over your head.
The sound, anytime he's having issues, there would be a slight heartbeat in the back, and it would pick up when he got more freaked out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Nick mentioned on the writing, I think there's messages there of being true to yourself, honest with yourself and others, not being so afraid to show your true self, like he did when he took the camera on, showed his true self, stopped hiding behind a blank screen, and realizing the importance of fixing those mistakes. He only realized that when he was out of time, unfortunately. So I think there's a powerful message there to not waste your time and wait until it's nearly too late to rectify anything in your life. So I'm going to give it a 9, just because it was really up there dramatically, thematically, stellar acting, small set. I just really liked it.
Gavin?
Crazy budget for the small set. I was gonna give it an 8. I really did enjoy the movie. I think most people should go see it. I think everyone would get something different out of it. I think that because of how the realistic nature and the relatableness of the chaos of life and everything else, that no matter what, you'll find something to gain from watching this and listening to it.
All the characters were.
It's like, it's a sad movie though. I mean, it's a heartfelt movie, and all the actors and actresses really bust their ass for an absolutely stellar performance. So I think it deserves an 8. A little bit lower than you guys, but
No.
So I went back to what I wrote and rated it right after seeing the movie the first time back in January. This was 7 months ago now. It must have really moved me.
I remember you coming home. You were
devastated.
You were doing pretty rough emotionally when you came home.
I really connected to it. I really couldn't find a single thing I hated about this movie, or even annoyed me or disgruntled me a little bit. I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Oh wow.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, 100%.
And this is just me being honest with myself. There's nothing about this movie that I don't like. I mean, coming up to watch it again, I might hesitate. And I waited this long to watch it again because I thought maybe even on the second watch I might just be a blubbering mess at the end of it, which having you guys around kind of helped not
distract you from that.
That was a little bit of the point.
I teared up there at the end, though.
Oh yeah,
I could totally see being in a theater with me and Tori and just losing my mind.
And totally immersed in not having any side conversations.
There was I got chilled and I did tear up at a couple.
Like I said, it's just a powerful piece.
Just the way some of the phrases are just said, both from Brendan Fraser and what is her name? Ellie's actress.
Sadie Sink. Yeah.
Sadie Sink. Sink. Whatever. Sink. Just gave me chills. packed, like you guys said, packed full of emotion. I'm just saying the same thing. It's a really good movie. I'm gonna change my answer. 8.5.
Definitely.
We're putting it up. Apparently,
we all recommend you go and watch
Yes,
this.
I would 100% recommend going and watching this movie. We're staying on the same train, and maybe we can make a month out of it, where we do more. Maybe we can do heartfelt movies, because I think Gavin is up next, and he is picking something that is very heartfelt.
Yeah.
So it is technically a comedy.
Okay.
So it has jokes in it. So like if you want to laugh at some of the really messed up jokes in the movie,
Which we probably will.
Yeah. It's called On the Count of Three.
Okay.
It came out in 2021. It was.
There'll be a trailer.
Yeah.
Peter.
I can read the little synopsis.
Yeah, go for it.
So it's.
By yourself? Is
It was
possible?
directed by Jared Carmichael. It was actually his debut film. He also acts in it. He's one of the main characters in it. But basically, that's a bad synopsis.
Just scroll up to the very top.
It's just basically it's his directorial debut, and it's a darkly comic feature about two best friends on the last day of their
Well,
life.
the trailer explains everything.
Yeah.
It will basically.
And we'll have a great synopsis.
I can give
Stay tuned.
the beginning. So here, the beginning of the movie starts with a gunshot.
Spoilers.
That's why I went for the beginning of the movie, and a suicide pact being formed. That's kind of like how it starts, and it's very emotional and very much like The Whale. Like it's very realistic how everybody's reacting, and it's a little hammed up a little bit, but I also thought it was relatable, and the two characters. I'm trying not to spoil anything without doing it.
You already have.
Gunshot at the beginning.
Well, we got the
Suicide
trailer
pact.
up here.
Yeah, it is. I love this movie. It did make me cry, and it made me very introspective for a little bit.
What would you rate it?
If I was like,
No.
I'm
rating
rating
it on
it
this
on
side of things.
but I'm actually glad it follows up The Whale, because The Whale, a lot of that emotional connectivity and relatability, and I think that on the count of three.
Well, I'm
we'll
looking forward
also
to it.
have
I
all
haven't seen
Well,
it.
we got a
so-
WWE belt now, so like whoever's
Oh,
movie
shit, I forgot to grab
makes us cry more
Except
gets
first
the belt
challenge.
for a week.
No, we gotta do a good competition this week.
Oh, I
Okay.
think that would be perfect.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Before we officially close out, thank you guys so much for watching. We love all of you. These movies are the best to do for Movie Bookie Bookie, because I really like when we can all kind of get a little deep with it.
Yes.
It's a lot better than like Thanksgiving, which
Shut your mouth.
if you haven't watched that one, go watch that one. That one was fun, but
With
this
your
one's a lot
family,
deeper.
kids.
So thank you guys so much for watching. It is time to split.
Now it's time to break it.